What's Gucci, man? It's been a minute since I posted on here. Today we got a special guest for Goat You. This video is strictly for college athletes going into college and college athletes in college. So I'm waiting on my boy to get in here. I'm gonna give him a nice introduction. There he goes right here. Let's see. Let me invite him real quick. Whoops, I'm posting this joint up all on let me see. There we go. Shout out to my boy Antonio.
Yo,
What's good?
yo,
What's up? You can hear me, dog?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. You hear me? You good?
Yep.
Root. So for y'all that don't know, this is Antonio Shelton, the starting defensive tackle at the Pennsylvania State University, number 55. Here to give you the best college advice when it comes to being an athlete in college. Being an athlete in college can be a little difficult with, all the challenges, endurances you got to face. So my boy Antonio is going to, try to explain to you the best way he can. I'm going to ask him some questions, and this live will be posted. So people, saying, don't worry about the views, dog. Like, people are going to watch this. I'm going to post it on YouTube. So why don't you tell everybody about yourself?
What's up, everybody? I'm Antonio, like Justin said. I play D tackle here at Penn State. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. As you see from my shirt, I'm in the greatest fraternity in the world.
Hey, you know.
19, notorious new chapter. I'm a fifth-year senior, going into my fifth year at Penn State. So, you know what I'm saying, whatever anybody needs help with or anybody has any questions, I got your back.
Feel free to hit his line. Okay, cool. So my first question to you is, what was your biggest worry going into college, going into Penn State? Like, what was your biggest worry about, being an athlete? Something that you were not concerned about, but something that, you would think about constantly.
Mainly it was initially was if I was gonna play or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because throughout the recruiting process, everybody tells you, what I'm saying, how great you are and X, Y, and Z, and what you could do, what you could possibly be. But then when you show up and it's time to put the pads on, to actually play, it's a little bit of a different story.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if I was going to play. I had never really been out of state before, so I had to get used to being out of state. Everything that I heard about college from my high school teachers or even just from being a kid was that college was like this super hard thing.
Mm-hmm.
That was almost impossible to navigate. But luckily, I had a great team of people around me, and just I mean, what really helped me a lot was my teammates, because we're all going through the same thing together. We're all trying to figure everything out together. So yeah, that was my biggest thing, was really mainly how am I going to navigate this, because I'm walking into a whole nother
state, whole nother school, whole nother division. College ball is totally different than high school.
Yeah, totally.
Hey, but you conquered it though. That's all that matters, for real.
Yeah.
Cool. So what can you tell an incoming college student 3 things that they should do when they first get there? Like when they first touch down the campus, things that they should carry on throughout their whole college career.
Number one, or at least one thing that I've noticed, is make sure your room is exactly how you want it. And if you've never had to deal with having a roommate before, because I never had to deal with having a roommate, you gotta get used to sharing space with people. Definitely make sure that your room is as comfortable as it possibly can be without having an excessive amount of stuff. Because at least in my situation, I've moved every semester pretty much I've been in school. So having less stuff makes things way easier. Make sure you got a big TV in your room. Aside from that, make sure that you try as hard as you can to get well acclimated with the layout of campus. Like planning out your routes to and from class, and to and from the dining hall. Find the nearest dining hall if that's what you want to do. And don't be afraid to speak to people, man. Like even if I'm saying you're not gonna be friends with everybody that you come across, but at least you can at least learn something from somebody in every situation.
Hell
So
yeah.
what I'm saying? You never know. And when it comes to, academics, first of all, make sure you're going to class because this freshman year, all everybody really wants to do is kick it, which is completely understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you also got to remember that, you're in school, especially for athletes, man. Like, the higher you keep your GPA earlier, it's easy to boost your GPA initially.
Mm-hmm.
And once you get past a certain point, it's way easier for it to fall than it is to build it back up. So
that's facts.
When you keep your GPA as high as you can, depending on how the rules in your program, you have extra incentives. Like for us, Coach Franklin gives us we'll get extra gear, or you can move off campus earlier. Just little things like that.
Yeah, little rewards.
Yeah, you don't have as many study hall hours with the higher your GPA. It's just little stuff. So keep your GPA as high as you can. And you have to really prioritize things. Like, if you really wait to do things last minute, it's going to catch up to you. Because as you progress and your classes get harder.
I got you, Jaden.
It's going to be a lot harder. So find a balance to everything. It's perfectly fine to go and kick. Please do. Enjoy yourself while you're at school. But you also got to be able to handle your business first.
Cool. Somebody in the comment section said, what's the average amount of classes that you take a semester?
The NCAA requires, I think, 12 credits.
Yeah, because 12 is full-time. I know that.
Yeah. So, it's at least 12, but it also depends on what semester it is and if you graduated or not. So, right now, our summer semester is broke up into two. It's summer 1 and summer 2. So I took one class summer 1, and now because I've graduated already, I don't have to take another class. I don't have classes again until the fall. And luckily, so
you happy?
It's always 12 credits during your season. But normally, most likely, what your academic staff will try to do is they'll try to front load you on credits while you're young. So the older that you get, you only have to take courses that are required for you to graduate. And that's pretty much the best plan. It's the easiest thing to do.
Word. Okay, so can you walk me through, think about your busiest day through the week. So I know, Mondays you might have lifting, Tuesdays you might have practice. On your busiest day of the week, explain, your routine from when you wake up until when you go to sleep. What's up, Mike?
Okay, so our busiest days are usually Tuesdays because of our practice schedule. That's one of our only full contact days. So depending on what time my class is, if you got a 9:05, you're probably up at 8 or so. Try to get something to eat. You know what I'm saying? If you don't got something at the house, you can go to the facility. There's food in the facility. Go to class. You might have 2 back-to-back, where then you have a break and then another one. But usually during the season, our classes are done right around kind of anywhere from 12 to 2 because our earliest team meeting is 2:45. So me personally, what I like to do is I like to go in way earlier just because, especially as an old man now speaking the program, it takes a lot more for me to get warmed up than it used to.
Oh, yeah.
A hot tub, cold tub, hot tub again, take a shower, put some shorts and a shirt on, go stretch out for a half hour, 45 minutes, do a whole bunch of extra stuff. Then we got team meeting, then you got position meetings, which and depending on which can take an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. Then you go practice for what seems to be forever. But you know exactly what you're going to do because most of the time your coach will break everything down to have a script. At least Coach Franklin does. He lets us know exactly what we're doing and what we're doing it, just to keep everything super organized. So pretty much from 2:45 to maybe like 8, it's all ball.
Word.
Then you can afterwards, you know what I'm saying, they got training table for us, which is where they feed us. You can go over there if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, you know what I'm saying, if you're a younger guy, you would have study hall. So when I was a freshman, we would go, we would eat, and we'd come back, and we'd be in study hall from 8 to 10 every day. Monday to Friday, you had to be in study hall. You had 10 study hall hours that you had to complete by Friday. So it was 8 to 10 every day. And then you go home, you try to relax, try to unwind, and then you do the same thing all over again.
Same thing. Okay. Somebody asked in the comment section, do you catch up on classes on Saturdays?
On Saturdays, well, no, not really, because at least me personally, um, I like to have.
I mean, if it's a Saturday in season, you already booked up.
Yeah, I like to have all my schoolwork done by Friday before we go to the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I don't really want to think about them besides football. But usually your professors will be very understanding. Like if you have a class that's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, because on away games we travel on Fridays, so you're gonna miss that class. So the NCAA gives you like a thing that you have, like a piece of paper, and it has like a list of dates. Like I can't be in class on these dates just because of what's it called? Just because of extracurricular requirements. Usually your professors are really cool with you. They'll be understanding. At least in my experience, they have been, and most of my teammates, they have been. But when it comes to catching up on school, I really don't really catch up on school. I guess I just try to get everything done during the week. So I'll try it during the weekend.
I appreciate that. Okay, cool. I got 3 more questions for you. You good, dog?
Yeah, I'm with it.
Cool. All right, so as you know, you are super popular on campus. You are not only in the greatest fraternity in the world, you are a starter on the D1 Penn State football team. How do you deal with haters, trolls, people that, talk behind your back and, try to – because obviously when you got status, if you ain't doing something right, you're going to have haters. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. So how do you deal with the haters, the trolls, the media, that try to talk down about you, people that, always got something to say?
First of all, I mean, at least on campus, I mean, I don't want to really sit here and act like I'm bigger than like what I am. But as far as on campus, I try to stay as low key as possible on campus. I just like to get where I'm going and get back home. As far as dealing with like stuff on the internet and stuff, I mean, bro, like, who cares? I mean, everybody has an opinion, and you're allowed to, and that's fine. It's just now everybody has a medium to let everybody know what they're thinking all the time. And that's fine, bro. There's people who think I'm garbage. There's people who think my teammates, my coach is garbage. There's people who think my school is garbage. Bro, and that's fine. Like, that's cool, bro. But, like, most of the time, at the end of the day, I understand that those people couldn't do the things that we do. Exactly. And that's fine. There's nothing against them. It's just, like, you can't do what I do. But it does crack me up how as soon as the fall comes, everybody is an expert on collegiate sports.
Yeah.
So like, it doesn't make sense if you've never done it. So it's like, I can't go and tell Elon Musk or somebody who's like super smart like that how to build a rocket ship. You can't tell me how to play defensive tackle because you can't tell me how to play defense or let alone play football because you've never done it at this level.
Exactly. No, go ahead. Yeah, I saw Miles Sanders. He said if you haven't played football at a National Football League level, in your opinion means nothing to me. Like, you got to understand that. Like, if you're not on the field, if you don't put on that equipment, and if you ain't, going in and every day playing in front of millions of people, you don't know what it feels like to be there. So I support that 100%.
And it's also like, the majority of the things that you say on the internet, you would not say to me in a face-to-face manner.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
You would not. You just wouldn't. So it's just like I find peace in knowing that people aren't about that action for real, for real. So
cool. Okay, two more questions. So if after like a rough game or a hard game that like you feel like you didn't do as best as you could have done, or you messed up on something, what's something that helps you to that motivates you to go stronger, something that helps you to like come back from that?
First things first, you have to understand that you're never going to be perfect in a game.
Mm-hmm. Sorry for that hard question.
No, that's a good question. I'm just trying to figure out how to say it the right way.
Yeah.
Usually I try to deal with all of the emotion. Like if it's a negative emotion, I try to deal with all the emotion that I have before I leave the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And you know what I'm saying? Before I either walk back to my house or like meet my parents, or before I get on the plane to go back to school. I mean, if you had an off day, you had an off day. You just have to understand, you know what I'm saying? You have to understand, first of all, you got to understand why you did what you did.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to reflect on the week of preparation, leading up to the game. Like, did I watch as much film as I possibly could? Did I do enough, stuff after practice? Did I stretch enough? Did I drink enough water? Like, it'd be the little things. Like, did I drink enough water on Monday?
Mm-hmm.
And if I drink enough water on Monday, that probably messed me up on my hydration.
Mm-hmm.
All the way down the road. Like, how did I eat this week? How did I sleep this week? You know what I'm saying? And you have to, first of all, you have to look inward and look at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, what can I have done better? You know what I'm saying? And if you feel like you prepared as best as you can, you have to be honest with yourself. And if you didn't, you got to be honest with yourself again. And then you have to go, what the coaches will break down the film and be like, when we'll watch it together by position. And you know what I'm saying? You got to be detailed in your note taking.
Mm-hmm.
Understand what you did so that you don't make those mistakes again. Because it's perfectly fine to make a mistake on the football field, but if you continue to make these mistakes, and that's where the line is drawn. But you just gotta. What's up? Come on, man.
Oh, it's all good.
you just gotta deal with it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand that you're not perfect. You just gotta deal with it as an athlete. You gotta put that behind you. So, because most of the time you got another game to play.
Hell yeah. Oh, and last but not least, if you could give your best college advice lecture to an incoming college student that plays in the athletic sport, or a current college student that plays in the athletic sport, what would that number one advice you would give them going in there?
Prioritize the programs that prioritize you.
Word.
And when it comes to committing, like if you're still not committed, take your time.
Mm-hmm.
Take all your visits. Take all of your visits, all of your official visits, because even if you didn't go, like even if you don't go to those schools, still have that experience. Like so, there are some offers that I didn't get that I wanted. Like I wanted University of Miami first and foremost because I grew up watching them, and I was a fan. Like my little league team was called the Columbus Hurricanes. I wanted to go to the U. Like if I would have had the opportunity to take an official visit to the University of Miami, I would have. I wanted to see. Like I couldn't imagine living in Los Angeles.
Yeah, that was shit.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, take all your visits. Just enjoy the process, man, because you really have to understand that this is where you're going to be living for the next 4 to 5 years, depending on a bunch of circumstances. So it's like, don't feel pressured by your family to make any sudden decisions. Like, yeah, your family is extremely important. You're going to want them to come see you play, but at the end of the day, it's your decision. So, like, don't feel pressured by anybody else to do anything. because that like it's this is where you are going.
Your life.
So pick somewhere where you know that you can be happy. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere where like just for football specific guys, pick somewhere that makes sense for your position, like that you would fit into their scheme, and somewhere where you think that you really have a serious shot at playing, and you should most likely look at their depth chart, see how many guys are in the room at your position. You know what I'm saying? See the likelihood of you playing as early as possible. Like for me, I play defensive tackle, and the Big Ten is like the Big Ten and the SEC are like the best conferences for interior guys. So it made sense. You know what I'm saying? This style of football is more beneficial to my skill set than if I went out west, where you know what I'm saying the defensive style and the offensive style is much different.
Different, yeah.
What else? Don't get too caught up in the media frenzy that is high school recruiting now. Because at the end of the day, bro, when you get here, we don't care. We do not care. We don't care where you went to school. We don't care how many stars you had. We don't care. None of that. We don't care. We don't care.
It all starts over, just like in high school.
It's just like, yeah, it's cool, man. Like that's great. If you're a good player, I'm glad you came here. You know what I'm saying? That's awesome. But you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get caught up in the frenzy because it will mess your head up. It'll mess you up. Find an older person once you get to campus or wherever you go. Find an older person on your team, like find a senior, somebody who's close to being a senior, and just stay with them. I'm saying learn as much as you can from them while they're still there. Because I have teammates, old teammates of mine that have been gone for like 2-3 years. And when we try to bring them up to the younger guys, they're like, who is that? And it's just crazy, like,
oh yeah,
how, you know what I'm saying, like this college athletics is not it's not permanent. So they find an older person to really pick their brain because they can not only show you how.
What up, Fred? They
can not only show you how to play your sport better or your position better, they can teach you how to navigate this chapter of your life better. You see what I'm saying? Make sure that you have a strong relationship with your coach, like a very, very strong relationship with your coach, and understand that the dynamics of that relationship might change once you're on campus. You might think that your coach might hit you or something like that, but most likely what they're trying to do is they're trying to teach you something just in a way that most likely won't make sense. So what I found that has been most helpful is go to your coach directly, like have a meeting with them and be like, what exactly do you want from me? What exactly do I need to do to play? As much as I play. And then they'll tell you, and then that has to be what it is, and that you have to ask for like brutal honesty sometimes. And then you gotta follow that. You gotta follow exactly what they say to that. And if you haven't decided on what you want to major in, that's perfectly okay. I switched my major my first year because I was like, I like lifting weights, so I figured I wanted to be a kines major. No idea what that entailed. I took one kines class for 2 weeks. I said, this is not for me.
It ain't for you.
They was talking about splitting the body this way.
Oh yeah, nah.
This way. I was like, yeah, I'm not. This isn't for me. If you haven't figured that out, that's perfectly fine. Most likely there is something, depending on how many majors a university offers. There's something that will fit what you like to do. Find out what you like to do, and then figure out how to make money off of it.
Facts. Big facts.
So, like, what can I do with this that can, I'm saying, lead into me making money? Like, I like to write papers. I like talking to people. I like expressing my opinion. So a journalism degree made sense for me. You know, so, and And if you're perfectly fine, you can get your gen eds out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, never mind. You can get your gen eds out of the way, and you know what I'm saying, everything will be fine. But most of the time, your academic staff will be able to help you out with that. But yeah, if you haven't made that decision, just try to, you know what I'm saying, try to think about things. You know what I'm saying, stuff like that. And don't be afraid to, you know what I'm saying, get involved with things that are on campus. If Greek life is something that interests you, I strongly advise you pursue that. Strongly advise that you pursue it. And if it's not your thing, that's perfectly
You say
fine.
Greek life?
Huh?
You say Greek life?
Yeah.
Greek life. Okay, cool. Yeah.
If that's your thing, I strongly advise that you pursue it. If not,
Only one though.
that's perfectly okay. Another thing is, you're gonna see how pretty much the culture is at your school based off of the demographics of people who go there, like, and where they're from. So a lot of people from here are from Philly, Pittsburgh, Jersey, and New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's people who are just from the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania.
Hit counts.
And you kind of, you know what I'm saying, you get like little tidbits of influence from, you know what I'm saying, these people. But never, it's very important to not lose who you are as a person just because, you know what I'm saying, you feel like you need to fit in or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's you gotta remember, you go here, it's not high school. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody. It's like a reset button. Saying, be safe, be as safe as possible. You know what I'm saying, with substances that you put into your body. No means no.
Oh hell yeah, that's super important.
If she is intoxicated or under the influence of anything, don't do it. Walk away. What else?
I mean, you hit the nail on the head.
You're not gonna have the answers to everything. It's a big transition. You're gonna experience things that you've never experienced before. So don't be mad at yourself when you don't have the answers immediately. Be comfortable with the concept of time, especially for athletes. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to be the All-American guy, like, immediately. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure every kid who's a running back saw Saquon playing was like, I can do that too. Majority of the time, no, you can't. Because I'm not saying don't believe in yourself, but get comfortable with the concept of time. Everybody's timeline is different. His timeline happened immediately. I didn't break start lineup until my 4th year. Timeline is completely different. So don't, like, it's like you're not gonna get rich by checking somebody else's pockets. Don't compare yourself to other people.
Anybody, exactly.
Stay in your lane. There's a lane with your name in it. If you stay there when it comes to athletic performance and personal growth, I'm telling you, you will be so much better off.
Yeah.
Don't look this way. Don't look that way. Oh, what they doing up? Don't worry about what they doing over there. Worry about what you doing.
That's some thorough ass advice, man. Like, you hitting the nail on the head with it, bro. Yeah, so I appreciate everything, man. Shout out to Tone again. I will definitely be sending you something in the mail, or I'll be up at Penn State probably in a couple weeks. I gotta move my sister in, so I'll probably just drop it off to you. I got some nail for you. And anything else you want to say? Last thing? I mean, you don't have to. I mean, you kind of nailed it. You nailed the head on everything, man.
Talking about something in the comments. Hold on.
Oh yeah, there's some people that I try to hit every question on there. One of my old students on here. Shout out to them.
Do I feel okay? Noel said, so it's my man's sister. She asked me if I feel like I got the full college experience. I would say as I grew, like as I got older, I would say I started to reflect on that and really ask myself that as well. Just because, you know, talking to people, your experience as an athlete is not going to be everybody else's experience. Your experience is going to be very, very, very different. Very different, especially if you play football.
Mm-hmm.
Because depending on what school you go to, what program you play for, you're the cash cow of your school.
Mm-hmm.
So your perspective of how this university works is going to be a little bit different. So I understood that, and I was really thinking, I'm like, well, I think it was going into last season. I was like, who am I outside of football?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what do I do outside of this? You know what I'm saying? And definitely a change of my major definitely helped me with that.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons why, you know what I'm saying, I chose to seek Omega was because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I wanted to find out who I was. Like, I knew who I was, but I'm like, there's a lot of things that are happening, you know what I'm saying, that maybe there's things that I liked 2 years ago that I don't like no more. You know what I'm saying? A month ago that I don't like no more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I would definitely say that the tools are present.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of what you choose to do with them,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak. Like, there's opportunities. Are they always going to be easy, and will they conflict with your sport? Things like that. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but most of the time, the opportunity is there to do and other things. I've had multiple, I'm saying, great experiences. I got to go to Texas for a Black student athlete conference.
Mm-hmm.
It was a conference from a bunch of different speakers, and there was dudes from all over, just men and women from all over the country, different schools, different conferences, different sports. It was great. It was a great time,
Mm-hmm.
and going there really, really opened my eyes. That it's like, well, first of all, like you sometimes you could think that the grass is green on the other side, but the majority of the time, um, a lot of people are going through the same things that you go through. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Don't be afraid to branch out. Um, now, as I think about it now, I do kind of think I've gotten the full, you know what I'm saying, college experience. Because, I mean, your college experience is what you want it to be.
Exactly.
That's something that I realized. I'm like, let's say you may not like the people that you go to school with. Okay, well, you don't have to be around those people.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to, like, oh, people in my school are corny. Well, I'm sure there's other people at your school that aren't corny.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, everybody is corny. You know what I'm saying? I made a few friends, you know what I'm saying, that are outside of the frat and outside of the program that are still very good friends of mine.
Yeah, as you should.
So, I don't want to say that your full college experience will be hindered by your sport, but
My
it
bad.
might look from somebody. It might look different from somebody else's, and also, you know, what you see in the movies on college is not realistic. That's not real. That's not how things are.
Yeah, all that Blue Mountain State and all that.
That's ridiculous.
I'm thinking when I first went to college, I'm thinking if you're on the football team, you're just gonna get to your dorm, or girl gonna open the door and just come in your room and start wilding. Like, all that stuff
Bro.
in the movies.
Oh man, I figured that out quickly. I was like, this is not a movie. You definitely get love, like people are nice, like people want to know who you are, things like that. But there's also a lot of pressure that comes with that. Because me, I'm kind of a private person when it comes to certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And I come from, my high school wasn't very good. Like, we didn't win. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like nobody cares who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's like getting recruited was weird for me because I'm like, yo, like what? Like, and then I'm saying, like, you get here, and luckily I had teammates of mine that were way better than me, and everybody wanted to know who they were.
Oh, so, yeah. So you got
Like,
the spotlight.
Mm-hmm. But, like, when I got up here, the only two things that I heard three things, because I'm a lot larger than the normal sized human being.
Mm-hmm.
It was, do you play football? I would say yes. They would say, okay, cool. Then it was, where's Shane or where's Miles? I was it. Nobody was like, well, who are you? What's your name? What do you do? What do you play?
They wanna, yeah.
Are you football? Okay, well, where's Shane? Where's Miles? I was like, oh, that's fine with me.
Throwing oops. But,
Man.
Yeah, but once again, bro, I appreciate everything, man. Thank you so much for coming on here. I'm pretty sure you're going to impact thousands of kids just by watching this. Future athletes that's going into college. I already got mad people hit me up, you know, because I'm not an athlete. I was an athlete in high school, but I wasn't an athlete in college. So I can't, like you said, I got to stay in my lane when it comes. I can't tell somebody how to be a college athlete because I'm not a college athlete. Just like somebody can't tell you how to play your sport when they don't even play it. So I figured, you know, let me hit up somebody that's influential, does stuff good in the community, somebody that goes to a nice school, somebody that's the bruhs, obviously, and somebody that's a good bruh, too. And you know what I'm saying? Friendship is central to the soul. So once again, bro, Thug, I appreciate you. I'm going to send you something, too. I'm not going to forget. And other than that, dog, Rue, I appreciate you, man.
Rue, dog, no problem, man.
Rue, dog.